Well, Merry Christmas to everyone. I hope you all are having a wonderful day, getting ready for Christmas Eve celebrations. This is certainly a very different Christmas celebration than we are used to. Normally, at this time of day on Christmas Eve, I would be at church getting ready. We would be starting our Christmas pageant that so many of you have been part of through the years. But this is a different time. And as you all know, we're doing everything we can to keep each other safe from the coronavirus. And so that means we're not gathering in person, but we're gathering this way. We're using all of the benefits of technology to be able to share our regular Sundays with each other and also to share this incredibly special, wonderful day, Christmas Eve. I want to share with you a story that I think I read for the first time a long time ago, maybe even when my boys were young. It's by one of my favorite children's authors, Tommy DePaulo. And he is not just an author, but he's an artist. And so he also illustrates the books that he writes as well. This is a story that's called The Legend of the Poinsettia. And it is set in Mexico. And it is about a young girl and her desire to be able to offer a gift. And she isn't sure that she has a gift that is worthy of being offered to the baby Jesus. So let's read together The Legend of the Poinsettia. Maybe we should start with the fact that a poinsettia is a plant that has beautiful red flowers. You've probably seen them around. We use them to decorate Emmanuel. They're all over the place at Christmas time. It's a sort of a small plant, but with huge red flowers. And it is native to Mexico. It grows there naturally because a poinsettia likes warm weather. So, on to the story. And Merry Christmas again to everyone. At home, Lucida helped Mama clean their casita, their little house, and put out the tortillas for their meals. She took care of Paco and Lupe, and each evening they went to the shrine of the Virgin of Guadalupe near the front gate to see if fresh candles were needed. Let me show you Mr. DePaulo's beautiful illustrations. Let's see if I can get it so that you can see it. Oops, other way. Here we have Lucida with her mama, and they are shaping the tortillas to have in their meal together. Some of you have probably worked on cooking with your families. And then over here, we see the children have gone to the shrine of Our Lady of Guadalupe, who is pictured here. That's Guadalupe. Guadalupe was a vision, a miraculous vision of Mary, the mother of Jesus, that appeared in Mexico. And so lots of Mexican households have a shrine, have a place that commemorates that event. And the children are making sure that the candles will be able to burn all night long. So there they are together. But every day was not just work. On Sundays, the family went to San Gabriel in the square where Padre Alvarez said the Mass. And all through the year, there were fiestas and holy days, which always began with a procession that wound through the village and ended in San Gabriel. Well, now here is a drawing of the people making a procession into church. It looks a little bit like our processions at Emmanuel. We have Padre Alvarez here. Sorry, I'm pointing the wrong end. Here at the end of the line. And there's a little acolyte carrying the cross, as some of you have done. There are banners, and everybody is making their way into the beautiful church. It looks a little bit like Emmanuel with a beautiful welcoming front door, but it also looks different as well. One day, close to Christmas, in La Natividad, Padre Alvarez came to their casita. Ah, Senora Martinez, buenos dias, good day. Padre Alvarez said, I am here to ask you about the blanket which covers the figure of the baby Jesus in the Christmas procession. We have used the same one for so many years that it is almost worn out. Because your weaving is so fine, I have come to ask if you would make a new one. Mi padre, Lucida's mother said, I would be honored, and Lucida will help me. Here we have Padre Alvarez has come to visit the family. And there's Lucida and her mom agreeing to help. I bet that there are lots of you listening who have had your mom or dad been asked to help something with church, and that you have been asked to help as well. That's what happens in church communities. We help each other out. On Saturday, Lucida and Mama went to the market to buy the wool for the blanket. They chose the finest yarn they could find. At home, Lucida helped Mama dye the wool the colors of the rainbow. Those colors will shine throughout the church, Papa said, as he watched Lucida and Mama string the yarn on the loom. Here they are at the marketplace buying the wool. You can see all the vendors there. It's a little bit like our farmer's market, if you've been to that. And then coming home. And there's Papa, and you see that they're putting the wool yarn onto a loom, which is a weaving machine. Let's get that better in the picture. You have to set it all up before you start, and that's what they're doing there. And you can see all the beautiful colors of the yarn that they've picked. As Christmas drew closer, everyone in the village was busy. All the mamas were making gifts to place at the manger of the baby Jesus in the church. The papas worked together putting up the manger scene in San Gabriel. Lucida and the other children went to the church for singing practice for the Christmas Eve procession, when everyone would walk to San Gabriel singing and carrying candles. Once inside, Padre Alvarez would lay the figure of the baby Jesus in the manger, and the villagers would go up and place their gifts around it. Our gift will be the blanket for the baby Jesus, Lucida told her friends. I am helping Mama weave it. You can see how everyone in the village is so busy with their preparations, making gifts for the baby Jesus. They're building the creche scene, the manger scene, and they're getting ready for the Christmas procession. One afternoon, a few days before Christmas Eve, Lucida and the children were singing in the church when Senora Gomez came hurrying in. Lucida, you must come home. Your mama is sick and your papa has taken her to the doctor, has taken her down to the town to see the doctor. You must take care of your brother and sister until your papa returns tonight. Lucida was frightened. Mama had never been sick before. When she got home, Paco and Lupe were crying. They were frightened too. Lucida tried to comfort them. She made some food and sat down to wait for Papa. That evening, Papa came in, looking tired and worried. He drew Lucida close and said, Lucita, mi niña, your mama is ill. Your aunt, Tia Carmen, will take care of Mama until she is well. But I must go back and stay with Mama until I can bring her home. But it won't be until after Christmas. Senora Gomez will take care of you and Paco and Lupe while I am gone. She will come for you tomorrow. We see beautiful Lucida here at church practicing her singing for Christmas Eve. And then Senor Gomez comes in. And her sweet papa who comes home and is so worried. And Lucida has to be a big girl and take care of her siblings. And it's nice that her neighbor is going to come and take care of them so her papa, her dad, can go back and take care of her mom. The next afternoon, Lucida overheard two women talking. Lucida's mama is ill. She won't be able to finish the blanket for the procession. Isn't it a shame? See, the other women said. We are all so disappointed. Padre Alvarez will have to use the old, worn-out one. When Lucida went home to feed Pepito and get clothes for Paco, Lupe, and herself, she looked at the unfinished blanket on the loom. Perhaps I can finish it, she said. But when she sat down and tried to weave, the yarn got tangled. The more she tried to untangle it, the more worse it got. It was no use. She could never finish it by herself. You see the other mothers are talking here. And then we see beautiful Lucida trying to do her best to weave as well as her mama would. I wonder what's going to happen. She took the unfinished blanket to Senora Gomez. Oh, Lucida, it is so tangled. There isn't time for me to fix it, Senora Gomez told her. Tomorrow is Christmas Eve. And Lucida started to cry. It was her fault. The blanket was ruined. Her family wouldn't have a gift to place at the manger of the baby Jesus. Don't worry, Lucida. We will all go to the procession together, Senora Gomez said. Lucida didn't say anything, but in her heart, she felt that she had ruined Christmas. There's her sweet neighbor who's taking care of them. And there's Lucida, who thinks she has done something wrong, but really she was just trying to help. Come, Paco. Come, Lupe. It is time to go to the procession, Senora Gomez called out on Christmas Eve. Where is Lucida? She was nowhere to be found. Lucida was hiding. From the shadows, Lucida watched everyone gather for the procession. The candles were lit, the singing began, and the villagers walked to San Gabriel, carrying gifts to place in the manger. Lucida walked along in the darkness and watched the procession go into the church, followed by Padre Alvarez carrying the baby Jesus. You can see this is the Christmas Eve procession. Padre Alvarez, the acolyte, and all the people of the town who are making their way into church together to give their gifts to the baby Jesus. Little girl, are you Lucida? An old woman stood in the shadows nearby. Si, Lucida answered, wondering who she was. I have a message for you. Your mama is going to be fine, and your papa will bring her home soon, so you don't have to worry. Go now into the church and celebrate Christmas with the others. Paco and Lupe are waiting for you. I can't, Lucida told her. I don't have a gift for the baby Jesus. Mama and I were weaving a beautiful blanket, but I couldn't finish it. I tried, but I only tangled it all up. Ah, Lucida, any gift is beautiful Because it is given, the old woman told her. Whatever you give the baby Jesus will love because it comes from you. But what can I give now? Lucida said, looking around. So here we have Lucida and this old woman who she doesn't know and hasn't met before, but who has come to give her pretty wise advice. A patch of tall green weeds grew in a tangle nearby. Lucida rushed over and picked an armful. Do you think these will be all right? Lucida turned to ask the old woman. But the old woman was gone. Lucida walked into the church. It was blazing with candlelight, and the children were singing as she walked quietly down the aisle with a bundle of green weeds in her arms. What is Lucida carrying? A woman whispered. Why is she bringing weeds into the church? Another one murmured. Lucida reached the manger scene. She placed the green weeds around the stable. Then she lowered her head and prayed. There we have sweet Lucida and her bundle of just weeds that she has picked. And she brings them into the church and places them in the manger and kneels down so that she can have a time to pray. A hush fell over the church. Voices began to whisper, Look! Look at those weeds! Lucida opened her eyes and looked up. Each weed was tipped with a flaming red star. The manger glowed and shimmered as if lit by 100 candles. Look at that manger. Look all around. It's surrounded by beautiful red flowers, by these beautiful red stars that lit up the whole church. When everyone went outside after the Mass, all the clumps of green weeds throughout the whole town were shining with red stars. Lucida's simple gift had instead become beautiful. And every Christmas to this day, the red stars shine on top of the green branches in Mexico. The people call the plants La Flor de Nochebuena, the flower of the holy night, the poinsettia. Look at these beautiful flowers. Isn't that wonderful? Those were all green weeds until the Holy Spirit in this holy night blossomed so beautifully. The end. I think one of the things that is most fun about this story is that Lucida feels like she has done something that isn't quite good enough, that she doesn't have the right gift to bring to church, even feels bad that maybe she messed up the gift she was supposed to bring. So in the end, she just brings whatever she can find, a bunch of old green weeds. And through the grace of God, through the love of God, they are transformed into the most beautiful flowers, the poinsettia. It's good for us to remember that we don't have to bring gold or silver or anything expensive. It isn't about whether the gifts we give or receive are fancy or fine. It's about our hearts and the love that causes us to give gifts to other people. I hope that you have a wonderful Christmas Eve, a wonderful and Merry Christmas, and that we continue to celebrate together for the full 12 days of Christmas that start tomorrow on Christmas Day. Bless you all. I cannot wait until the time that we can all be together again. And until then, be safe, be at peace, and be filled with the joy of Christmas. Bye.